I'm Albert from Summer Associate Hub, and this is Practice in Point One, where we speak with attorneys all about their practice in under 6 minutes or 0.1 billable hours. All right, so start off, tell us your name, your practice area, and where you work.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melanie Woodward. I work in litigation, and I am a partner at Nutter, McLennan and Fish in our office in Boston.
Fantastic. All right, so take us through a typical case that you'd work on in the litigation department from beginning to end.
Sure. So one of the things that I love about litigation is the cases are not at all the same. But if I were going to categorize it, I'd say a case usually starts with a conversation with our client. Typically, our client has been served with a lawsuit, so we want to sit down, hear from the people at the company that are involved, and see what's going on. And from there, we can put together an answer. And then we'll start the discovery process, which is all the stuff that you learn about in your civil procedure class, like document requests, interrogatories, depositions, all of that. And then decide if we want to file a motion for summary judgment. Again, this is sort of like walking through your whole Civ Pro class. And at that point, cases usually settle or go to trial.
Great. So how does your litigation practice specifically differ from what the litigation practice might be at other firms?
I'd say the biggest difference between Nutter's litigation practice and the litigation practice at other firms is how early associates are able to work on really substantive matters. I was deeply involved in my first trial when I was just a fifth-year associate. So Nutter really trusts its associates, gives challenging assignments, which are just incredible opportunities to grow. Another thing that makes my litigation practice at Nutter different than at other firms is I do a broad range of litigation. I don't have just one specialty. I do commercial litigation, I do employment litigation, I do securities litigation. And for me, the through line there is cases that involve complex financial or accounting components. Those are the cases that I'm really interested in, and they span all different types of litigation. So I've been able to get experience not just in one area, but in a broad range of litigation practices.
That's great, and definitely rare among litigation practices. So you wake up in the morning, you go to work. What is your typical day like at work?
Again, it could be different. If you asked me 2 weeks ago, I would tell you I'd be heading to federal court for a trial. If you asked me 6 months ago, I was sitting down and writing a brief all day. One of the nice things about litigation is you can usually sit down and sink your teeth into one big project. So I'll either be, taking a deposition, writing a brief, doing a lot of reading, or rarely, but still sometimes at trial.
Great. So you're a partner at the firm. It's always helpful for law students to know, what do the other members of your team do on a certain case? For example, the associates.
Yeah, associates will do a wide variety of assignments. Like I said, we try to give our associates challenging work. So it could span anywhere from, a first-year associate would typically be doing research, to a mid-level associate might take the first cut at drafting a motion to dismiss or a summary judgment motion or something like that. And then for senior associates, maybe even taking depositions or arguing in court.
Fantastic. So my favorite question, what is the coolest case or legal issue that you worked on?
I'd say for me, because it's fresh in my mind, I had a 2-week trial in federal court earlier this month. And I won't get too into the nitty-gritty details, but it was our client was being sued by the Securities and Exchange Commission, and just being on my feet in federal court was such a cool experience.
Fantastic. So always helpful for law students to know as they're thinking about practice areas. Why did you choose to be a litigation attorney?
For me, I've been drawn to litigation since high school. I was on the mock trial team. I like being on my feet. I like being in court. So I'm drawn to that. And I think that law school can be really litigation oriented. So I would encourage people to take classes that get outside of that. Take a contract drafting class, take a real estate class, see if there's something else that you like. Just try to get as much experience as you can and use your summer associate program to do that too.
So if a student is dead set on doing litigation, what is your best advice for that student to prepare for a career in litigation as they go through law school?
Definitely sign up for any trial advocacy classes that your law school offers. If there's a trial team, do that. Any opportunity that you can get to be on your feet even as someone who was dead set on litigation, it's still scary. It's still nerve-wracking. I still get nervous, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. So start early.
Fantastic. Thank you for these wonderful insights, Melanie Woodward. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.